Hi guys, greetings. Welcome back to Qatar series episode 2. Today we're covering the basics of what you should know if you're coming to Qatar for the first time. These are some useful tips, okay, so that you can enjoy the country seamlessly. First and foremost is photography or public videography. One thing I think is really unique about Qatar is their emphasis on privacy. For example, if you're out in public and you're shooting a vlog or taking a photo and you happen to notice there's people behind you, especially locals or women or just anybody that doesn't give you consent to have that image or to have their face in a photo, you shouldn't upload it. When you're out in public, just try to not get anybody else in your shots, or if you do, just blur out their faces. There's laws about it. It's also a bit of a cultural thing, something to be aware of when you're coming to Qatar. Basically, the root of it is that you need somebody's consent to publish their image online. If you don't have that consent, then you can't publish the image. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Second is the dress code in Qatar. I feel like there's a lot of confusion around this where there doesn't really need to be. First and foremost, respectfully speaking, when you go to Qatar, you're not going on a girl's trip to Ibiza, okay? You're going to a country that has conservative values and traditions and ideologies that should be respected. So, my general rule of thumb, and I'll put a photo here, you'll see this image sometimes if you're entering a government building or you're going to a public mall. Dress modestly. Basically, try to cover your shoulders and cover your knees. And I recommend this for both men and women. Modesty does go both ways. But of course, it depends. If you're in Qatar and you're staying at a hotel or you go to a beach in the Pearl, of course, you'll see people wearing swimsuits and tank tops and shorts. So just be mindful of which space you're going to. But in general, public spaces, malls, government buildings, do dress modestly to respect the culture and so that everybody feels comfortable. I always say this whenever I travel to a new country, but whatever country you go to is like you're going to somebody's home. Each person's home has different rules and you have to respect them as long as you're in that house. Okay, third is the weekend in Qatar. I guess this is typical of most Islamic countries, but the weekend in Qatar is Friday and Saturday. Sunday is a working day. So if you're coming for business, it's just good to know that Sunday starts the working week in Qatar and Friday is the beginning of the weekend. Friday is a religious day where people tend to go to the mosque and pray, spend a lot of time with their family. Furthermore, tipping. So tipping in Qatar is not really necessary. You go out to dinner, it's not required for you to tip, but it is something nice. There's not like a tipping culture like there is in America. In America, you gotta tip for everything, baby. In Qatar, it's not something expected of you, but of course, if you want to tip, you have that option and you can do that. Next is something that I recommend. It's of course not necessary because Qatar is pretty much an English-speaking country. Arabic is the national language and the locals, their first language usually is Arabic. But it's nice when you go to a country to try to greet people in their own language. So I would recommend if you're going to Qatar, you want to leave a good impression on the people there, try to learn some basic Arabic words just so that you can connect with people. The most basic and respectful one that you can say, Assalamu alaikum. Okay, I'll put it here. Assalamu alaikum. This basically means peace be upon you, and they'll generally respond back with wa alaikum assalam, which means and peace be upon you too. So this is very respectful to go to a new country and try to meet them with their own language and their own culture. You get what I mean? The last thing about Qatar, which I think is very underrated, but for me it's something I love greatly, is the coffee culture in the country. In Qatar, there's so many different coffee shops and there's a lot of quality coffee shops, specialty coffee shops. And it's kind of a great place for you to go out and socialize and meet with your friends. Most coffee shops stay open quite late in Qatar, you know, maybe till 10 p.m., 11 p.m., even later on the weekends. So it's a nice place for you to gather with your friends, especially if you don't drink alcohol. It's a great place to go and kind of have some type of like a nightlife vibe without having to participate in those activities. Last thing to be aware of when you go to Qatar is when you go to the malls or you go out to coffee shops, you'll see a lot of people dressed up quite nice, especially all my little girlies, all my little material girls. I feel like Qatar, compared to the United States and other European countries, is quite a formal culture and society. So it's not uncommon when you go out just to grab a casual cup of coffee or get a sandwich with a friend that you'll see people dressed up quite well. So if you do like to get dressed up, Qatar is kind of a nice space for you to like whip out your nicest suit, or you know what I'm saying, put on your nicest outfit and show off a little bit. So definitely enjoy the fanciness of the culture there. It's something nice. So those are the basic things to be aware of when coming to Qatar. Again, if you guys have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section below. I'm doing this series once a week, so any topics you want me to cover, for sure, I'll cover them to the best of my ability. See you guys next week, God willing. Love y'all and stay safe.